Bad Larry.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Bad Larry Kingdom. I'm your host, Bad Larry. Today we are checking out Absolute Catwoman, issue number 2. The writer is Scott Snyder, and this Grayson character, the artist just goes by Bengal. Very Prince-like, just to have the one name. And, of course, the title is The Yarn, Chapter 2, because, cats like to play with yarn. I graded this cover an 81% simply because it suffers from the prototypical character coming straight at you, the one leg coming down. It's very easy to draw. I'm sure the artist Bengal has drawn this image a million times over. However, what brings it back up is the background, the detail, the colors, the shading, all of that brings it back up. The red offsetting the gray and the black, the tail, it's all very cool. So it gets a B, barely, B minus. If this is your first foray into Absolute Catwoman, here are the main characters you're going to encounter in this issue. Catwoman had a crew called the Calicos, which is that scary cat, the multicolored cat. And the members of the Calico crew was obviously Catwoman, Helena, Holly, and Victoria. The one thing the writer likes to do is bounce around from location to location and from time frame to time frame. So what I've done is I've just done everything that's in the past in the beginning, and then in the second half, everything that's in the present. So we're starting this story off 9 years ago in the Gotham Calico Clubhouse. This is where the Calico crew are hanging out, ready to take on a job. Every good story has a bit of foreshadowing, so when Selena Kyle here 9 years ago says, "I'll go it alone," this is foreshadowing that she'll be eventually a solo character. As you can see, the Calicos are a 4-member team. This is a job that they're trying to pull off. They're trying to gain access to the top floor of this building that's being lived in by some corporate goons. So they're trying to figure a way to get past security and get access to that top floor. Plus, we get to learn a little bit more of the backstory of each member of this Calico crew. I like how they're referring to them as strays. Stray cats are kind of wily and unpredictable. But this character, Helena Bertinelli, she's considered the tough one, even though she grew up super rich and cushy. Catwoman, who's pictured in the middle, Selena Kyle, she's the one doing the pickpocketing. She's considered the sly one. She's the little sly, wily cat of the crew. The second stray, which is what she's called, she's the ginger. Her name is Victoria Sage, which is interesting because Sage is a reference to wisdom, and she is the most clever little smart one of the crew. And the little blonde girl, Holly, she's clearly the glue that holds them all together. I just realized that these 4 are basically the Ninja Turtles, each one kind of representing the same personalities as Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael. They're just stealing the Ninja Turtles' personalities. And just like the Ninja Turtles, they move in silence in the dark and the shadows. They take out their foes silently and effortlessly. They work very well as a 4-person team. Obviously, the setting is Gotham City, and they're in this banker's office. You see the top name, Falcone. This is one of the bosses in Gotham City, and they're about to drain all of the top mob bosses' money. They're draining them dry. And they even steal the hiding spot, like in the Ninja Turtles movie where Michelangelo was hiding in the shower, but in the top part to escape from the cops. Say, "Who's there? Who's there?" "Oh, these 4 are the Ninja Turtle knockoffs." And now that they've stolen all of the funds, I mean, this is some billions of dollars, it seems like. They got to make their quick exit. They get caught. It looks like by Popeye's illegitimate half brother, Slop by the guardsman. Here's an interesting dynamic. Selena tells Holly to get the F out, save yourself. But Holly comes back, knocks out the Slop by guard, and Selena's kind of pissed, saying, I told you to leave. And this is to show Holly cares more about being part of the crew than actually doing the jobs and stealing the money. She doesn't care. If you saw issue number 1, she comes from a very, very bad family. Her happy place is being with Selena and the team. So that's why she's fighting so hard for Selena here. We jump to the present, and following the instances from last issue, Catwoman got beat up a little bit, so she's got access to this super exclusive club called the Wandering Rose, in which there's a private doctor. She's getting looked after by this guy in secret, of course. I like in the background you see all of the different wigs, because obviously as a cat burglar you're going to have some disguises, just like Batman. I said in the last issue that Selena Kyle is this absolute universe's version of Batman. She has Jonesy, which is an AI interface that she interacts with. The whole point of this is she's trying to identify what exactly this ball that she's stolen. Everybody's after this blue ball, no Diddy, and she doesn't know what it is. Jonesy, the AI, doesn't know what it is. So that's intriguing to Selena. Of course, she's going to put it up for auction on the dark web, but look at that price, $100 million. I like the description: mystery orb to die for. So whoever is going to want this, the price is so high, it's really a clever tactic to try to flush out whoever is after this ball, because she wants to get after them as well. So now we're going to go to another location in Gotham City, and the person in the chair in the shadow is not Catwoman. She's looking at the monitors, obviously scouring the dark web, and of course the mystery orb pops up on her feed, and she's like, oh, just like old times, meaning she obviously knows who's selling the orb. Now we move to Switzerland, and we're seeing Catwoman in some Arctic gear talking to Jonesy. She's thinking about her good old friend Holly, who had a warm heart. She's saying that she has a much colder heart than Holly, uh, which again describes her more as like a Bruce Wayne type character. She's always ready. She's got a hole dug through this mountain to give her easy access through the mountain instead of around. She's talking to Jonesy, setting timers. She's about to cause an explosion um, in this tunnel, so she's got a game plan. Catwoman is more like Batman here. So, what is Selena Kyle's big plan? Well, obviously, they're in Switzerland. They're at the auction house, meaning that all of the buyers who are interested in this mystery blue orb are here to, bid on it. And you could see this. She's saying this is the 0.0001% of rich people. That means that Selena Kyle is not only super rich, but she's Bruce Wayne type rich in this universe. And Bruce Wayne, the actual character, is a giant construction worker who's not so rich. I love this kind of twist of fortune in this universe. Even though the art isn't exactly Jim Lee, super crisp, super detailed, it does a good enough job to keep you moving. You know that Selena Kyle has got these super cool glasses on, that's attached to her AI assistant named Jonesy, who's showing her all the interested parties in the blue sphere. So that keeps her one step ahead of everything. The guy is saying, "Oh, can I hold your item that you have for auction?" She's like, "Hell to the nah! Piss off and go get me something to drink. I'm not gonna let you hold it. That's crazy." And you also get to see the timer on her wrist. It says 22:58. because you know that bomb is about to go off at zero. So the art does a good enough job to get you through the story and keep you moving. The colors are excellent. I'm not hating it. It's not obviously my favorite art style, but for this storyline, this character, I'm okay with it. I like it. Baldy McWhitebeard comes up to Selena saying that he represents a buyer who's ready to pay full price for her little blue ball, which is exactly what she was hoping to uncover in this little auction. I don't know why people get so funky about the exchange of funds for items. In every scenario, if you go buy a car or if you go buy a piece of gum, you gotta pay for it before you can get it. You don't get the item and then pay for it, except in restaurants. We're not talking about a hamburger here, we're talking about $100 million thing, and yeah, no, you give me the money first and then I'll give you the item. But before that happens, before the money is exchanged, Selena Kyle realizes who the buyer is and she ain't too happy about it. It's none other than Victoria Sage, aka the second stray, part of her old Calico stealing crew. Oh wow. Well, Victoria is the smartest one. She obviously knew it was Selena selling selling the item to her, and she's shocked that Selena doesn't even know what the ball is. So obviously, Holly went to Victoria, who clearly has a family now, a husband and a child, and tells her that she needs to buy this ball. It's called the Yarn, which is the title of this issue or this kind of series so far. And obviously, the yarn it is something that cats chase after, but a yarn could also represent a story. Um, Victoria tells Holly she doesn't know much about it, and then obviously Selena posted the auction for it, which is why she had to buy it. Everything's tying together. Selena takes a look at her watch and is like, "We got to get the hell out of here." But before anything happens, the first stray pops through. Now she's got a little white streak in her hair. She busts through the window. Helena Bertinelli, another one of Selena Kyle's former Calico crewmates. She's coming in with her new crew, is beating people up, and then Selena quickly takes out some goons and they decide to run for it, which is cool. And I like that the fact that they've trained so hard together that it's instinctual for them to get into a formation type escape plan or escape formation because they're so connected, even though they have been apart for so long. Selena, Victoria, and Helena run into what can only be described as a pure massacre. All these rich people have been taken out. The blood is splattered everywhere. What a gruesome scene. What's going on here? Selena is clearly still holding on to the yarn. This is the thing that's everybody is being killed over. Uh, and what's important to also point out is what she says about um, running from aversion that she tried so hard to leave behind, meaning that the two friends from her past are bringing her back to kind of her old ways. And this is very poignant. People, they say that you're the average of your five friends. So, you know, you take your five friends, you're going to be right in the middle of those five. So if all your friends are poor degenerates, then you're gonna you just be honest, you're gonna be in the middle of that. Now, if your five friends are all super successful billionaires, well, then you will likely be the middle of those friends. The point is, if you want to improve yourself, if you want to make yourself better, then it's often you have to surround yourself with better people. Now, this is just very cool. Selena Kyle. You know, cats have super senses, even though she doesn't have any actual physical powers or superpowers. They've got these keen, sharp senses, and they know something is up. And what is so cool is the introduction of uh, these ninja type assassin characters that are using some unknown or futuristic type technology that's enabling them to hide in the shadows, almost like an invisibility cloak. But it could also be an armor, and it also is a way for them to phase through solid walls. That's crazy. All that training, all of that fighting, well, it's gonna come in handy. Even Victoria, the redhead, who's clearly just a super wealthy mom now, she gets in the action. She's kicking ass. And now we're playing a game of hot potato with this little yarn thing. They're clearly after it. One of the shadow ninja warriors here steals the box from Selena. She gives them the old judo trip. The box is tink tink tinking around at the feet of who could it be? Who could this be? The main boss? The only downfall to this art style is we're using all females. I get it, it's Catwoman. She's going to have female adversaries. But this main villain with the black hair, even though it's a different kind of style, she looks a little bit like Helena, and she looks a little bit like Selena. She's in the all black, so you really got to pay attention. But this character was from issue number 1, who kidnapped Selena Kyle's best friend, and now she's pissed. She deactivates whatever cloaking device, which is very cool. She's super. Selena Kyle, Catwoman, is very high tech, and now the fight is on. Here's one thing I don't get. The villain here had her mask down. We already seen your face. Why put the mask up to decide to fight? You're gonna get less oxygen anyway. I guess it's just so she could. I don't know what the purpose is. Y'all tell me. But uh, the countdown timer for that bomb is about to go off. Selena Kyle's getting kind of pieced up, even though she's got more tech. She's got that cool tail that's attacking. The other character that she's fighting seems to be a little bit better at the ninja stuff. And as the floor crumbles, she's able to not only get away without taking any damage, but she's also got the yarn. So now Selena has to decide, is she going to go after the villain who just stole her yarn, this item that's worth $100 million, or try and save her two friends from her past? Decisions, decisions. Well, the whole purpose of the first part of this issue, showing 9 years ago them escaping together, was that friends stick together. So her decision is clear. Selena Kyle, using her technology, is able to split her tail, which is wild, and snatch up her two friends. In order for them to be saved, she's got to save them. Well, Catwoman ain't no real hero. Everything she does has a bit of self-serving element to it. She knows that she can't beat the her adversary one on one. She didn't beat her in the last issue. She didn't beat her in this issue. She needs some backup in order to save Holly and also try and retrieve the yarn that gal stole. Plus, she's got a head start. So Selena's smart. She knows that she's going to need some help. Well, Selena just used one of her lives clearly, because the little time bomb that she placed in order for her to make her super getaway, well, it's kind of backfired on her, because not only did the villain get away, she got away with her prized possession, and now this flood is coming and they're all soaking wet in the mountains and snow and freezing temperatures of Switzerland, so that's not good. First things first, where did they find any dry wood out there for them to create a fire? Or maybe it's a self-containing fire. Whatever, it's a comic book. Let's get past it. Anyway, they're being informed that the sphere is actually not called the yarn. Uh, the enemy has it now. The ball is a key to unlocking a map to where the yarn is. And what is the yarn? Well, it's super duper AI. It's the most advanced super AI in the world. And now the villains have a map to find it. And if you look hard, who is that? Ra's al Ghul? That looks like some Al Ghul stuff going on. We don't have enough detail with this art, but it's looking mighty ghoulish. So make sure you stay tuned to the next episode, and hopefully we'll find out who the two villains are.